Welcome back to Houston's Morning Show. Time for Sports Time. Nate Griffin. We're live here at Texas Southern University. We're going to be featuring the marching band of Texas Southern, the Ocean of Soul, of course, because today is Marching Band Day. That's right. It's a day for every holiday, if you will. John McClain, the Texans insider, now joining us. We're going to cover all things sports. John, let's start with the NFL Combine. I want to ask you, what did you think overall about the NFL Combine?
I always love it, Nate. The truth is, you like to see the guys run fast, lift a lot of weight, work out well. The Combine was made for people who should do everything well. Texans, think about this. Last year, they didn't have a quarterback and they didn't have an edge rusher. They had so many needs. Nate, think about how far they've come in one season. And there's a lot of prospects at every position they need, and a lot of it depends on who they lose and who they bring back in free agency.
And that brings me to ask you, who do you think they liked at the Combine? Any idea?
Well, I have no idea about individual players. I know about positions. You know, they're going to need defensive linemen because that's where D'Amico Ryans wants to start. There's a lot of edge rushers and tackles that they could get with a 23rd overall pick. They don't need to use a high pick on a wide receiver. Nico Collins and Tank Dell were third-round picks. That shows you can get them without picking in the first round. And, Nate, they're also going to need a cornerback. Depending on if they re-sign Steven Nelson. So even though they're coming off the division title and a terrific year, they still have needs.
No question about it. No question about it. You talked about receivers a moment ago. Texas, those guys showed out. You're talking about Xavier Worthy and A.D. Mitchell. Xavier Worthy broke the Combine record with a 4.22, and then A.D. comes back with a 4.3 plus change.
And then that 4.22 was reduced to a 4.21 because electronically timed, and that was his second run. And he is officially the fastest in history. He had been tied with John Ross, who was a high first-round pick and a total bust for the Bengals. So it takes more than speed, but I think now we're going to see Xavier Worthy in the first round. Can you imagine if he ends up with Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, my goodness. That would be just awesome for Patrick because he's looking for that kind of guy. Last but not least, Chris Mortensen. I know that he made an impact in the sports journalism industry. Can you talk about Chris?
He died after a long battle with cancer, Nate, and Chris had gotten treatment here at MD Anderson and thought he beat it. And, you know, you never really beat it. I met Chris when he was covering the Falcons for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, watched him become a star at ESPN, one of the all-time great information guys. Class act. He's going to be missed by so many people.
He is John McClain, a Texas insider, as well as the general. John, thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you Friday.
Sounds good, Nate. Thank you.
All right, guys. Coming up at the 9 o'clock hour, you're going to hear a lot of good music. All right, we're live here at Texas Southern. Nate Griffin, Fox 26 Morning Sports.